What's up guys, Afiq here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing well and staying safe. So for this time around, I have this. So this is the third generation Mercedes Benz A-Class, or also known as the W176. So prior to this generation, the first two generation of the A-Class is little more than just a small mini MPV. For this third generation model, Mercedes has designed a car that is able to compete with the finest from BMW as well as Audi, in the form of the BMW 1 Series as well as the Audi A3. So the Mercedes-Benz W176 here in Malaysia can either be had through local dealer or a grey import. Nowadays, a grey import model like this can fetch around 130 to 140,000 ringgit, which begs the question, if you have around 140,000 ringgit of money, should you go for one of these, a Mercedes-Benz premium badge, or should you go for the mainstream model like the Toyota Corolla Altis or Honda Civic? Without further ado, this is ABB Automotive. So here in the front end of the Mercedes A-Class, the face that you see here is the pre-facelift version. So the facelift A-Class, it has a slightly different bumper and a slightly different grille. So for this particular A-Class is the A180 AMG Sportline. So being the AMG Sportline, you do get a different bumper and grille treatment compared to the regular urban line. Okay, so the bumper that you see here, you do have this large A intake at the bottom, and the grille itself, so for the AMG Sport, it still features this dual wing design, whereas the A45, the full-fledged AMG car, it features a single wing design. So in the middle here, you do have this large Mercedes-Benz logo. So there's two actually. There's the Mercedes-Benz at the bottom here logo, and then there's one at the top. So the one at the bottom here is actually, if you can see, it is actually the radar for the ADAS system. So this particular A-Class, it comes with the adaptive cruise control as well as the pre-collision warning. So those two systems require a radar to sensor the vehicle forward. So moving towards the side here, so this car is equipped with a bi-xenon headlamp. Okay, it is automatic, of course, and you also have LED daytime running light as well as LED indicator. So both the daytime running light and the indicator are LED. Unfortunately, at the bottom of the car, you don't see any fog lamp. So even the urban line vehicle, there's no fog lamp underneath the car. So most of the illumination comes from this beam alone. So this is your high beam and your low beam. The overall look of the A-Class, there's no mistaken that this is a Mercedes. From the front, it looks like a Mercedes, just like any other of its sibling. So yeah, I like how the A-Class looks from the front. So under the hood of the Mercedes A-Class, this particular model is the A180. So the A180, the A200 is sharing the same engine, which is a 1.6 litre 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. So in the A180, it produces 122 horsepower with 200 Newton meters of torque. So power is sent through the front wheels via a 7-speed DCT, so dual clutch transmission. Now for the A200, the power output is slightly higher. It is rated at 250 Newton meters of torque, and again it is going through the same gearbox. Now the A250, the model higher up, is featuring a 2-litre turbocharged engine instead. And then the top of the range, A45, features a hand-built AMG engine. Now for the A250 as well as the A45, you can get the car with four-wheel drive system, known as the Mercedes Benz 4MATIC. So right now I'm standing next to the Mercedes Benz A-Class. So as you can see, it is a rather good looking hatchback in my opinion. So this particular model, like I said, is the AMG Sportline. So it comes with this nice wheel, this body kit, as well as the rear sporty bumper. So speaking of wheels, you look at the wheels, it is 18-inch, okay? And then this is a AMG style rim. So if you buy a regular A-Class, it's still 18-inch, but it doesn't look like this, okay? And then the rim that you have here is wrapped in 225/40 series tire, so it's actually quite low profile lah. Again, being the AMG spec model, the front disc, as you can see, is slightly bigger than a regular A180. It is using the same disc as the A250. So the disc itself is larger and there are holes in them. Okay, so that one improve cooling for the disc lah. Okay, so towards the side here, it features the classic Mercedes Benz line from that generation. Okay, so I like that you see the front line here from the headlight. Okay, towards the side here, and then you have another line at the bottom there that goes to the back. So I like how the body style here is like convex, concave, and then convex again. So you can see like the different texture. It gives the car a lot of depth, right? And then at the bottom of the window sill, you do have a nice chrome strip to elevate its elegant styling. This is a Mercedes after all, you need the bling. All right. The side mirror looks pretty much like every other side mirror on a Mercedes from that generation, as well as the door handle. Okay, so the color that you see here, this brilliant blue, is called South Sea Blue. Okay, so it's quite a special color in my opinion. Not many A-Class has this color, and I like that the overall silhouette of the car is actually pretty aerodynamic. The A pillar here, the front windshield is raked. Okay, I like that, it's very sporty like that. Okay, over here you have the fuel cap. So the fuel cap is, you don't need to go inside and open it. You can just press it, it will open. Okay, so nice convenient feature, right? As long as the car is unlocked, you can do this. Okay, so overall the A-Class to me is one of a very nice looking hatchback. Okay, so here in the back of the Mercedes Benz A-Class W176, again, very neat design. All right, so this particular model being the pre-facelift model, if you look down at the bottom there, it features dual exhaust tips. Okay, so for the pre-facelift A-Class, the exhaust tips are real exhaust tips. Okay, so the one that you see here, it connects to the muffler and catalytic converter and then to the front of the car. If you see the facelift A-Class, it features an exhaust that is integrated into the bumper. It looks neat, but then the exhaust tip is not real. Okay, so yeah, if you have the pre-facelift like this, the exhaust tips that you see here are real compared to the facelift version. Okay, so looking at the back, comparing this and the facelift, the pre-facelift tail lamp is this C shape. Okay, is the C shape, where the facelift one, it features that separate brake light, one at the top, one at the bottom. Again, personally for me, I like the pre-facelift tail lamp because it has that C shape. So from far you can already see, oh, that's an A-Class, you know, compared to the new one, right? So you have a wiper that's mounted on the glass. Okay, and then as you can see, there is a little bit of spoiler here, and then the third brake light is located at the spoiler region. If you get the A45, the top of the range, you have a slightly bigger, sort of like secondary spoiler at the top, which personally, for me, if you have the money, get it. It really elevates the look of the A-Class. So for this car, it doesn't have it, so quite a shame, right? So again, the bumper that you see here is the AMG spec bumper. Okay, it has this sort of like fake vents at the side here. All right, so this is starting the era of fake vents. So what can you do, right? There's also some fake vents at the bottom here. So yeah, so being a hatchback, it is somewhat practical. Boot space is not a lot, okay, but you still have a decent amount of space, and the shape of the boot is really squared. So putting item inside is not an issue. And then you also have a tonneau cover at the top here to protect your goods, and then when you close the door, people cannot see what you have in the car. So that's a good safety feature in my opinion. Okay, so here inside the Mercedes Benz A-Class, looking at the dashboard area, okay, so the dashboard area looks like any other Mercedes. I particularly like the 3 circular vents that is at the center fascia over here. And then at the top here, you do have this like tablet style screen, okay, mounted on the dash. Now the screen itself, it's not touchscreen, and you can only control that screen via the radio that is located underneath the aircon vents, as well as a rotary knob located down here. Okay, so you can rotate as well as move to the side, and then press on it to choose what system you want it to be on. So you can be like radio or navigation or the Bluetooth system. Alright, so this car does have a navigation system, but yeah, it's best stick to your own phone for navigation. Okay, in terms of driving position, I would say it is rather sporty. I have no issue with the sitting position. This particular A-Class is the AMG line. So being the AMG line, you do get this very nice sort of like sporty seat, which is aligned with suede. Okay, so the suede Alcantara seat is on the seat as well as the door. Okay, on the side here you do have Alcantara. Now the steering itself is leather wrapped, which is nice to the touch, okay, in the hand, and the bottom part of the steering wheel is flat. Now in terms of adjustment, you can adjust tilt and telescopic, and the adjustment is quite extensive, I would say. This particular A-Class unfortunately does not come with optional power seat. So if you do have the power seat, it will be located at the door here, at the door handle here, but this one does not. Now the steering wheel, from behind here, you do have pedal shifters. Not the largest pedal shifter, but it works just fine. So on the left here is to go down a gear, on the right here is to go up a gear. Okay, I wish the material was better, but yeah, it's plastic. The gear level for this car, if you're not familiar with Mercedes Benz, newer Mercedes Benz, it is not at the center console. So it is located at the column. Okay, so yeah, if you're a first time Mercedes owner, this will take time to get used to. Another thing that you will need time to get used to is the parking brake. So for this particular model, the parking brake is underneath the headlight controls on the side here. And then speaking of gear switch, which is on the right side of the column, typically this is where the signal will be for a typical car. So the signal for the Mercedes is on the left side. Okay, so on the left side here, you have your signal, your headlight washers, both for the front and the rear. This is also the lever if you want to engage your high and low beam. So looking back at the dashboard, the top part of the dashboard is soft touch. Okay, the middle part is also soft touch. Speaking of which, if you have the AMG spec, you do have sort of like this carbon fiber look. Okay, so if you have the regular A-Class, you just have a regular looking dashboard. The middle part of the dashboard underneath the center fascia, this is where you know that this is an entry-level Mercedes. So the material down here is plastic. Okay, it is not soft touch like the top. Okay, towards the center here, you do have a aircon switch in the middle here. So this car does not equip with automatic aircon system. This is a manual aircon system. Opening the lever, you do have opening the compartment here. Yeah, so you do have a place to put your coins, and then a 12-volt socket. In the middle here is a very big cup holder. So from my understanding, in overseas market, the A-Class and the CLA can be had with a manual transmission. So if your car is equipped with a manual transmission, this is where the manual stick is going to be. It will come out here, right? So if you have an automatic, so this will be a cup holder. In the middle here, you do have a decent sized cup holder as well. So yeah, again, 3 cup holder. They should have designed this better. And a very small sort of like rotary knob for the infotainment system, which I think is an overkill, because now you have 2 ways to control your infotainment system, which is the radio here as well as this knob. Personally, I would just press the button on the radio. It's more convenient. This one is a bit faff to use because you do have to control how you touch the knob. Okay, you turn the knob, you have to control. There's a certain amount of finesse needed to operate this knob, which can distract you if you are driving. Okay, so behind here you do have a center console with a decent amount of space. Now, one thing I like about Mercedes is that the compartment inside here, it's lined with carpet or like felt. Okay, even at the side door here, at the bottom here, you do have a little bit of storage. It is also lined with carpet. Not only that, even the front glove box inside here is all lined with carpet. So yeah, it does give that rather premium feeling vibe. Now, speaking of the door, you do have the, okay, all the power window in this car is auto. Okay, it is auto, and you do have power folding outside mirror. Again, being AMG spec model, your pedals are aluminium, your brake pedal and your accelerator pedal. Speaking of technology, this car is equipped with adaptive radar cruise control as well as the forward pre-collision warning. Okay, so another thing I want to mention is that the seat belt. So the seat belt for the Mercedes Benz, okay, the moment you plug in your seat belt, it will automatically give a pull. Okay, so this is only for the front seat. The rear seat, the seat belt is just a regular seat belt. So the first time when I got into this car, that caught me off guard, because the moment I put on the seatbelt, I wanted to adjust the steering, it pulled me back. If you're new to Mercedes, beware of this. It can also be potentially choking if you don't aware of it. Okay, so on the top here, you do have a monochromatic rearview mirror, nice touch. This car is equipped with automatic headlight as well as automatic wipers. Now looking at the top here, the visor, okay, so you do have a mirror with a light at the driver's side as well. And then the door visor, if you open to the side, okay, the door visor can extend. Yeah, so it can extend. So shout out the straight pipes. Yeah, this is your part of your review. Okay, so the Mercedes A-Class does have extendable sun visor, so really nice touch. Okay, here in the back seat of the W176, space is decent, I would say. So this front seat is adjusted to my driving position. I am 165 centimeter of height. So in terms of leg room, I would say I'm okay. Yeah, I have some amount of leg room. And then headroom also, yeah, I have some amount of headroom. Now, in terms of comfort level, I would say it's decent at best. So one thing that I found a little bit of issue is that the bottom part of the seat is that it's not giving me much support. So I wish that the bottom seat is slightly longer to give me a thigh support and slightly higher. And then the angle of the seat also is a little bit too upright for my liking. But then on short journeys, this is just fine. And then another thing that I wish it was better is that it does get a little bit claustrophobic back here because of the color that they use. The headliner is black, okay, and then this front chair is very big, so it does obstruct the view forward. Okay, but yeah, in short journeys is okay. So in terms of material, you still have soft touch material everywhere. Down here, you do have a little bit of compartment as well as a 12 volt outlet, so you can charge or put the adapter and charge. Fortunately, no map pocket, so the only storage that you have is this small storage over here, and then at the side. Okay, so just like the front, the side storage is also lined with felt. So yeah, consistent in material. Okay, so cup holder, you do have a cup holder at the center here, but yeah, it's the flip out style. Okay, it's like that. So you do have to have a decent amount of weight to your glass to put inside here lah. So yeah, Mercedes Benz cup holder. You do have child isofix mount point, and I like that it is very visible and you can actually see the isofix point. So for parents, putting a child seat back here can be easier lah, because now you can see the isofix point. Yeah, so the back seat of the A-Class, it's okay for short journeys. Space is rather good, but it could be better knowing that this is a Mercedes Benz. Hey guys, so currently I've been driving the Mercedes Benz W176 for a while, so A180 of course. So upon driving this car, I would say that the throttle response, because this car's default mode is eco mode, if you're driving this car regularly, like not in a rush, the throttle response is rather numb, I would say. Okay, so when you mash the accelerator lightly, it doesn't give you the instant response that you like. And then another thing that I realized that upon from a standstill, because this car is using a dual clutch transmission, there is a slight hesitant and lag when you get the car rolling from the stop. But once the car is moving, the 7-speed, no issue. It changed gear really smoothly and really quick, right? So the engine in this car is the 1.6 turbocharged engine. So yeah, 120 horsepower and then 200 Newton meters of torque. If you're driving this car like in eco mode, like you're not trashing it, it's actually quite civilized, and then you don't think that this car will have 200 Newton meters of torque. Okay, so only that when you start accelerating, yeah, the 200 Newton meters of the power from the turbo, the torque, yeah, it makes itself known and you just accelerate real quickly. Now, in terms of driving this car at speed, if you're jumping from a regular car into a Mercedes, you can't really tell how fast you're going if you don't look at the speedometer. It's just one of those cars where you feel like you're driving slow because of all the insulation and everything, and then you look down at the speedometer, oh, I'm driving 100 km. So yeah, so I think Mercedes has this effect, you know, like the sound insulation, the wind insulation is really good. Now in terms of ride quality, because this car is the AMG spec model, so the suspension is hard. Yeah, it is hard. It is definitely tuned more for sporty rather than comfort, which actually intrigued me. How does the regular A-Class without the AMG tuning feels like? Because for this car, and it's riding on 18-inch rims or more, it is hard. Okay, it is hard. So because of that sort of like stiff suspension, it does give the car sort of like a very good handling, very darty handling. Okay, so going in the corners around like 80 or towards 90, not an issue. The chassis is able to cope at that speed. Okay. Now in terms of drive mode, so this car has eco mode, sport mode as well as manual mode. So the manual mode allows you to play with the pedal shifter that is located behind the steering wheel. In sport mode, it does sharpen the throttle response over the eco mode, but at the same time it holds the gear longer. So for me, it gets really uncomfortable because it holds the gear for too long and it doesn't downshift when you want it to be, in its effort to be sporty and keeping the engine in its rev band, in its power band. Alright, so for me, I would just be comfortable driving this car in eco mode, and if I want to go fast, I just mash the throttle deeper. Now in terms of steering feel, I would say it's not the best, yeah, the A-Class, but yeah, if at sort of like parking speed, if you're trying to park the car, the steering is really light, which is good, you know, like, so it gives you sort of like an ease of confidence in tight parking spaces. The steering does weight up once you go faster. Okay, so this is electronic power steering, so it does weight up, but yeah, the feeling is slightly numb. Okay, so I don't really know what the front wheels are doing, but then if you're a regular driver, this would not be an issue. Okay, under any circumstances though, the Mercedes Benz A-Class is a very nice car to drive, just that you are pretty numb on how you feel in the car, like your accelerator, your steering, yeah, everything has just been covered by sort of like a duvet or something like that, so you're unable to sense the car properly. But then some people might like it, especially Mercedes-Benz owner, if they favor sort of like this isolation. Now in terms of visibility, again, I would say quite good. I don't really see a huge blind spot anywhere, and then this car does come with blind spot monitoring, so it does help you to monitor your blind spot. Now once you backing up, there is a large screen in the middle here to show your backup camera. So the backup camera does have distance as well as trajectory. So when you turn the steering, the angle of the steering wheel will be shown in the camera. So with that, we come to the end of the video. So the Mercedes Benz, I enjoy my time behind it. It is a powerful car, a lot of safety features. I like the looks on the outside. Yeah, the interior also exudes Mercedes Benz. But then it's kind of numb. I don't get a whole lot of feel both from the accelerator and the steering wheel, and it's rather small compared to your mainstream C segment vehicle. You don't have much boot space as well as the rear seat. But overall, it's an entertaining car to drive. Depending on what your priority is, I would say that this is a good fit for the 130 to 140,000 ringgit segment. You know, it gives you an alternative to those regular C segment vehicle. So with that, I would like to say thank you for watching my video. Do give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, do subscribe. I appreciate it a lot. Yeah, till the next video. Thank you. Stay safe and take care, everybody. Bye bye.